right, so this video is going to be about the new moon in Aquarius, which is going to be hitting on Thursday, the 11th of February, 11:05 Pacific time. Okay, have a few notes here. So if I'm looking down, that's what I'm referring to. A couple things to note here. I'm going to go over questions to journal to and a few reminders to keep in mind and regarding the energies around this time. Okay, so it's going to be an interesting new moon, and Aquarius has very fiery energy. For those who are particularly sensitive, it can sometimes come off as a little bit cold, abrasive, a little bit detached, very intellectual. And again, I'm not saying these things in any negative light. It's just how they can be perceived. In a positive way, Aquarius is also very optimistic. Also has very electric energy, which tends to draw people in. So the reason why I'm bringing up these energies is because if you might be feeling any of these things during this time, it's not just coming from people who are of Aquarius signs or who have Aquarius as part of like their sun or rising or Venus. It's just that these particular energies may be coming up in the people around you, just depending on where they are in their natal chart or in their houses. Okay, so the thing is, since we're still in Mercury retrograde, communication is still going to be really, really important, but we're also meeting up with Venus. So the planet of love, we got Valentine's Day coming up on Sunday. So there's going to be things here that we need to keep in mind when it comes to relationships and communication, right? I mean, they kind of go hand in hand anyway. But for those of you who may be wanting to use the energy of the new moon for either improving a relationship, drawing a new partner in, then it's going to be really important to set an intention around that at this time. Also too, in regards to your abundance, this is a really, really good time to set an intention for that as well. Turn your wishes, if you will, into affirmations, meaning I am. So instead of saying let's say you're having a hard time in your relationship right now and you want to fix things, say something like I am in a healthy and loving, affectionate relationship. If you have debt and you're wanting to work on debt, start saying something like I have plenty to take care of my obligations. You can go so far as to say I am financially free. So when you say your affirmations, always say it in a positive way. Try not to include the word that has the heavier or denser energy, if that makes sense. If you have issues with that, then feel free to message me or ask me, and I can turn that statement around for you. Okay? So what's interesting though is right after this new moon, the moon is actually, okay, so let me say this a little bit differently. So there's going to be the new moon, but there is this phase after this particular new moon, which is only happening this one time this year, where the moon is void of course. And that statement actually means that the moon is not really meeting up with any other planets right around this time, which basically means that there really isn't anything to bring up or amplify. So it's actually said to wait about 13 hours after this particular new moon, and then as it starts to move towards other planets and have a position with another planet, that's when things will be able to manifest. So not that you can't start writing your things down tonight or tomorrow, but just if you happen to do any new moon ceremonies or want to meditate or something and really set that force in motion, time it out. Okay, so I mentioned in the beginning 11:05 Pacific Standard Time. So check where that is on your time zone, and you can time it out for the 13 hours, okay, before you start setting those or stating those intentions or affirmations. So between this new moon and the next full moon, we're going to be meeting up with Saturn and Uranus, which are going to be clashing together, if you will. So there's going to be an energy where something, especially because of the Mercury retrograde, there's going to be something that's going to pretty much smack you in your face. A particular lesson, if you will. And I know I'm always talking about lessons. I'm not trying to, be like, oh, here we go again. But the thing is, between now and then, there's probably going to be something that's going to come up. Try not to resist it, because you don't want to repeat it. Remember, Saturn is all about karma, right? You want to be able to, and that's basically Mercury retrograde is about too. So you really, really want to take a look at where you have been giving away your power in particular, because if you can learn this lesson once and for all, it's really going to set you free from either an individual or something in particular, whether that's a habit, an object, a place. Okay, so keep that in mind. Be very, very aware as it comes up for you. And so if there is something old, like an old structure around you, and I'm talking in an abstract sense too, this is a really good time to tear down old structures and replace with something new. I mentioned this, towards the end of last year when I talked about Aquarian energy. It's all about renovation and innovation. So if there's something on a micro level in your life that needs to go, then you could take advantage of this new moon energy to help figure out how to do that. Okay? Aquarius has the knowledge, the know-how anyway. So it's going to be a really interesting energy. I've definitely been feeling it. So write down the things that you want to be manifesting, write down your intentions, and you also want to include in your journal to answer the following questions. So, have I been detached from someone or something to the point where it looks like I'm coming off as just not caring whatsoever? Okay, and if it's with particular people, why is that the case? Because if it is a person or persons that need to be released from your life, maybe this is the way to be able to do it, or the time to do it. Okay, do I actually believe in my own abundance? If not, how can I change that? I just recently had a video on my IG and Facebook about perceptions of abundance. It's something that I tend to talk about a lot. I actually do a monthly abundance clearing. If you can check my website for that, it is a subscription with no obligation, but this is something that we talk about, is abundance in every aspect of your life. It's not just money. So do you believe that you're an abundant person? Whether that is with your relationships, opportunities, creativity, money, prosperity, energy, resources. Do you feel that deep down inside? Usually people may in certain areas, but not every area. But in actuality, they're all inextricably linked. Okay? So think about that. If you don't, how can you begin to change that? Which structures in my life do I need to smash down and break free from? That's a loaded question, because that can be anything from like your career, your job, family and traditions, old outdated ways of thinking. It could be the people that you've hung out with for decades and you kind of feel like you're being suffocated. It could be even your own habits. Like, maybe do you watch a little bit too much TV? Do you not move your body enough? It could, that could be a particular type of structure, right? In your life, if it's the same thing that you ascribe to day in and day out. So really great questions to take a look at. And I will be talking about the full moon then in another 2 weeks, so you'll have an idea of what to be looking for then. But if any particular questions at all, feel free to comment below or message me, and I can do another video for that. All right, talk to you soon.